All right, here we go. Go Sports Radio. Carver and Cuthbert here with you. Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. It's a Thursday as we are getting ready. The final week in January. Thank God. We got to move this calendar along here. We really do. Get out of the winter. I can't take it anymore. I got a nice, good view of the piles of snow outside Borrelli's this morning. I'm ready for it all to melt away. Before you know it, that one thing doesn't change. They still walk dogs.
Giants fan too, buddy.
Still walk dogs. I got the Giant gear on.
He's ready.
Out here on a Thursday. Everybody hanging at Borrelli's. But soon, the snow will be gone, and everyone will have the shorts and the tank tops back on, heading right down that way, down the block, to the beach.
Beach, baby.
Today's the day, like I said. I'm not a big summer guy, Paul. You know that. I'm not big, but I don't need this. I don't need any of this. So get it out of here. We're here. Mike Carver along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. Happy almost the weekend.
What a day.
Happy good times. Good times all around as we forge forward into the year of 2026. And what's
Amazing.
on tap with all the sports here as football's wrapping up.
It is wrapping up.
Hockey's going.
It's at the end. And I got some NFL stuff for you later that we'll do. And I'm waiting for some quotes from this Joe Brady press conference that just started right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry we're cutting into your
so we'll that's all right.
Buffalo Bills stuff
Don't trust me. They're not gonna say anything that I don't already know. But we'll get into a little bit of that. So I do have this is kind of the quiet week for the football, and next week we really ramp it up with Super Bowl 60 out in Santa Clara between the Patriots and the Seahawks. Very exciting. But honestly, being the first real show that since we started doing this show a couple of months ago, where we don't have a Thursday with Whoya Got and a bunch of football games this weekend. We don't have any of that. I felt it was only appropriate to start this show today talking about the Islanders' win over the Rangers last night. I felt that was really the only way to start today because I got to admit, yesterday I was a little pessimistic. I was a little gun shy to get a little too brash. I didn't want to do it. I was feeling pretty good after some of the moves that Darsh made early in the week, and I thought, you know what? Let's see how things go here. I always want to tread a little lightly, Paul. Yeah, I'm done with that. The Rangers are finished, and the Islanders bury them a 4-0 season sweep tonight at the Garden. Dunzo. Finished.
I told you yesterday, buddy.
Finished.
I told you. I tell you what, it's very easy as a Rangers fan right now to have a lot of confidence in the New York Islanders. They're just a better hockey team. They're a better run hockey team.
Yes.
And I told you yesterday they were going to take these two games. And they started last night emphatically with confidence.
I usually don't.
And they did it with their number 2 goaltender last night.
I know. And now you get Sorokin tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
Against Quick. At the Garden.
You guys knocked Panarin out even before he couldn't even get an ice.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
It's over.
But
I told you the white flag is on top.
The white flag is not only on top of the Garden. They actually even put Drury up there. I think I saw him yesterday, and he was out there waving it back and forth. That's how bad. When that Panarin news came out, he was just out there just waving it as hard as he could. He was waving that flag right on top of the Garden. They had helicopters up there looking at him. You talk about a team, Paulie, that is completely laid down and said, we're finished.
It's over, man.
And it is now they've accomplished their goal. It is completely trickled down to the players watching that game last night. Done.
Yeah.
They are done.
Yeah. Did you see any of the post-game interviews in the locker room afterwards?
Oh, not a lot of smiles, but just
fragile group.
But you got to do the Sully, but Sully's got the same.
He's the you talk about Drury out there waving the flag, and Sully's out front taking the brunt of all this stuff. What a gig, huh? How happy is Sully taking this gig?
I know.
I mean, the preseason speeches and the expectations and how this is going to run. Their slogan was "No BS." The Rangers,
no BS.
Yeah, no BS this year. BS. But let's talk about the Islanders last night.
They deserve to be talked about
they
first.
Absolutely,
we'll get to this waving the white flag and sitting Panarin on the sidelines and all that. We'll get to all that. The Islanders went out last night. A lot of and I said to you yesterday, I thought that, you make some moves like this. It tells the players and it tells the coaches and it tells everybody, we're with you guys. We think that you guys can make a run. And who comes busting right out of the gate? Palat. And Palat with a goal and an assist last night. He duplicates Disciplikov's entire season in one night.
Great.
Goal and an assist. Everyone crying about Disciplikov. Palat comes in the first night. Bang. Goal and an assist right out of the gate.
I love the sweater number 2, man. 81.
81.
Love
Was the 81 back there?
This is awful, man. I'm a Rangers fan, and I'm like but I appreciate good hocky. Continue, man.
They're playing very well. They're playing good hockey. They have this little stretch now here where they can get a couple of wins against the Rangers to pad some things up a little bit. They're flying high. I don't think they're done either.
No, I was gonna say Darcy ain't done.
I don't think he's done.
No.
You listened to him yesterday before the game, and he did a little press conference talking about the trades and everything. He's just like, I mean, how often? What transparent? Yeah, I don't. First, if there's a move that requires me moving a first-round pick, if there's he's thinking bigger here, which I love.
You better keep that breaking news thing.
You never know. I know we
Potentially
get the.
What's to say Panarin?
You never
suit up on the other side tonight, man.
We talked about this a few weeks ago. That's a tricky move for both.
I don't think do that.
It's not exactly the same as sending Susie down the line. That's a little, third pair defenseman and your leading scorer the last 5 years. That's a little tougher to kind of translate those two moves. But man, they're playing good. And honestly, I think this Olympic break is going to be a very interesting thing around the league because you have some teams that don't have a lot of guys that are going to be playing in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Some teams that are playing so well right now that they're just going to have to. I mean, I think about Buffalo. I mean, they've won 19 of their last 23 games.
Fantastic story.
They don't have a ton of guys who are going to be going and playing the Olympics, and they're just going to be iced out for 3 weeks. Just not doing. I don't know how. If that.
I would hope these teams are still going to have practice groups.
Well, they're not. I don't think they're allowed to do that. I think that there's some.
They have to be able to have their own. They've got to be able to keep the legs up.
Right, you would think. I have to look at what the rules are, but I think it's a complete shutdown, and they can't even have a practice until a certain date. I think I will look at that up.
Yeah,
for you,
maybe we'll have more information on that next
break.
week. They have to be able to keep skating, and I mean, they can't just not skate for 2 to 3 weeks.
But you're seeing some of these teams build now into this break that's coming really right on the heel. I mean, you got basically a week and a half, 2 weeks left here, and then we get the 3 weeks off. But the Islanders are one of these teams that are playing pretty good now, coming into this, chance to bag some more points. And I just thought it was everything you want. You come out, you jump on them 2-0, your new acquisition scores. Everybody's just and it was just good feelings at the horse track. Everybody's just
love
what you want to see.
Goal.
Yeah.
Loved Hyman's goal.
Yeah.
Love Barcy's goal. And I want to talk about this other guy too. Now I forget who scored off his pass. But D'Angelo's pass.
Yeah.
Banked in that side goal. Who's that? Who's that? Clip that in there.
That was the give me one moment here and I'll bring up the
because the guy that you've got Schaefer, right?
Yeah.
Great story this season. Playing fantastic. You got Pulak and Pellick there, able to just play that defensive style back there.
D'Angelo was the Holmstrom goal. That was the Holmstrom goal.
And that was just a fan. Let's talk about Tony D'Angelo now.
Yeah.
Being on this squad. At least as far as in the news and everything else, all the public stuff that he went through, a lot of stuff that obviously the Rangers got rid of him. Right. A lot of that stuff.
So did Carolina.
And he is quietly, he's before all that stuff went down as a Ranger fan, Tony D'Angelo is one of the most talented defensemen out there. And the fact now that you have him, second season, right?
This is the second year.
Second season.
They brought him in about the middle of last year.
He has settled in so well. And he's playing excellent. And now with Schaefer coming in, I mean, if you talk about the back end for the Islanders right now, just looking really, really good. And obviously with Sorokin playing well. And then, everybody up front is just Barzy's playing great. Bo's playing great. I mean, everything's rolling. And again, Patrick Whoya has a home now. He's got a guy behind him. I mean, obviously when Darcy came in, you didn't know if Whoya was going to stay and all that stuff. And it's kind of all gelling here. And I think we should just simply recognize, and I think you guys as Islander fans, maybe you're not used to this for a little while here. You guys got to get the confidence going. This is an excellent
I'm buying in
hockey team.
I'm buying in now.
It's an excellent hockey team.
This is I am completely bought in. I have been very this year kind of like, you know what? This is all gravy. They're playing, it's fun. They're not expected to do much. I always say, and I've said this for a long time about the NHL or really about anything, you can go into a season with one set of expectations. And I think that there was a clear set of expectations for the Islanders coming into this year. First year with Darsh, etc. First Schaefer being a rookie. There was a let's play competitive hockey. Let's show that we're a team that can beat anybody any night and we're in any game and there's no lack of effort. And they did that tenfold the first couple months of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That was the expectation coming in. Maybe they hang around a playoff spot. Maybe they give you something to play for in the second half. They've played so well that now you have to adjust your expectations. They've played well enough where now, for me, I expect them to make the playoffs now. With how well they've played, I expect that this continues over the next 2 months plus, and that they are going to be in the tournament. And honestly, I don't think it should be with the way they've played it, it should be a sweat, to be fair, that they're in the tournament. I think that they've played well enough. They have the goaltending. You mentioned on D, when everyone's healthy, obviously Pulak's going through some injuries right now and other things, but when you have guys like Pulak and Pellick who are more stay-at-home, very good defensemen, and then you can mix in guys who can do – Schaefer could do everything at this point, pretty much. And D'Angelo's a puck mover, and he's a good offense. And then
Well, they're both good two-way defensemen.
Right. Oh, yeah. Schaefer, he's the entire rink. Mm-hmm. He is now, as an 18-year-old kid, he's proven that he's got the entire rink down. And I think that we mentioned the break a moment ago. I think it helps him, obviously, more than anyone else because he's now played more hockey in the last 3.5 months than he's played in his life.
Especially at that level.
At that high level.
Yeah.
And I think it was good that he didn't make the Canadian team as cool as it would have been for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good thing that he gets to really rest, tune up, and then get that last push with this squad. But as I was saying, expectations change. I expect him now to be a playoff team. And I expect now even another move to maybe even make them deeper than that. Because you look at the East, I think you mentioned this quickly yesterday. Obviously, Tampa has been outstanding this year. Florida isn't in a spot right now, but you know that if they get in, they're going to be tough out. They've been to the finals 3 years in a row and won the last 2 cups.
Maurice has that whole game plan all set. He's quiet. They're going to be there at the end some way.
Carolina is Carolina. They never win in the playoffs, but they're going to be there.
Yeah.
And other than that, these teams are all kind of, right there. I kind of put the Islanders and Buffalo and Montreal and Boston. They're all kind of Detroit. We're all kind of in the same mix for me, Paulie, in terms of they can all, with the right mojo and the right draw and the right everything, make some noise in the Eastern Conference.
So let me throw this at you. Islanders 7-game series, Carolina.
Now, this is the team that has been their problem. They can't beat Carolina in the playoffs. But what I was going to say to you is this is a different Islander team than the one that's lost to Carolina the last few times they've played them in the playoffs.
Bam. Pittsburgh, 7-game series.
Well, again, I think the Islanders are better than Pittsburgh.
Okay. Tampa Bay. Now it gets a little tough.
Tampa, I think Tampa's better than them. I'm
Detroit.
not going to think it'll be a hell of a series, and I think it's a 50-50 series.
Buffalo.
That's a lot of mojo with what they're going to have going on. That's not really one. Thankfully, that would be more like an Eastern Conference final type of thing if both of them got there. But that would be wild.
Montreal.
50-50 series like the other two. I think that I don't think there's any advantage one team over the other with any of those. I think that they have gotten themselves to that second tier, and it's a big tier. I think Tampa and Florida, even though Florida's not in a spot right now, Tampa, Florida are the first tier. Carolina, because they're so good in the regular season, is the next. And then all these teams, Islanders, Detroit, Montreal, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, are all kind of in that next.
And Boston is the other team.
And Boston, too. I think that I don't think this Boston team's as good as ones in the past 10 years, but they're very streaky. So.
All right. And then if you look, it looks like, I think you can pretty much call it. It's going to be wild, but the Rangers, the Devils, looks like the Caps and the Leafs are not going to make it this year. All right.
Well, look, here's the one thing I'll say. We are still very far out.
Yeah, but those teams look like they're done.
They're trending in the wrong direction. And these are where you can make the opposite argument. These are the teams that can't wait for the 3 weeks off because that might be a chance to reset the table a little bit for them and come out a little bit differently after the break. Like if you didn't have this break and these teams were spiraling the way that they are,
well, hold on a second.
Rangers are a different story. They're cooked.
Leafs, I think, are also cooked too.
Yeah, but they're only
dude.
They're only 6 points out.
Yeah, I know, but there's still a lot of room on that team.
That's a good week and a half, and they're back in it.
But they haven't shown any type.
Rangers are 10+ points buried now. Like it's a little bit different for me.
There's a lot of personality stuff going on in Toronto.
There is, and I'm not telling you they're going to make it, but I'm not ready to throw the dirt on them yet. I'm not going to say that they're out. I think honestly, the only team in the East I'd say is out is the Rangers. Yeah. Everyone else still has a pulse, and there's still a lot of time for them to make up and to get it going.
Who, the Rangers?
No, for everyone except the Rangers.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying the Devils and Toronto, and even look at what the Jackets have done, 7 out of 8 since Bones come back in. Like they're all very much a pulse to make up the ground that they need to make up.
So even with them in the pulse, and we just ran through, I mean, getting back to the Islanders,
right?
I give them a chance of not being a favorite in pretty much all of those series, despite maybe Tampa Bay right now more than anybody else.
I don't think the Islanders would be a favorite against anybody.
I don't know.
I don't think they'd be a favorite against anyone that they play.
Look at me. I think they would be.
I don't think so.
Come on, man. They're just playing so good.
Maybe in the first round if they had home ice against Pittsburgh or home ice against Washington. If they were home ice in the first round, they might be, but no chance Carolina, no chance Tampa. I mean, by the time you get that far that they would play those teams in the Atlantic in the third round, they probably wouldn't be. So
Mike, you guys are going to conference finals this year, man.
Well, let's relax. I know I just said the expectations are a little higher, but they're not that much. I don't want to say that this has to be a
buddy. I'm a Ranger. I got nothing to lose here. So.
Now, I'll go back now that we've talked good about the teams that actually matter. What do you think of basically just saying, you know what, how does it come about? Where does the conversation start where you go, we're going to just not play you anymore. We're just, just have a seat. Is it just purely we don't want you to get hurt and lose your value?
So
is he a problem in the room? Like what's the
asset management term?
Asset management.
That's brand new, right?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of there's a lot of new stuff that comes through.
That's a load of BS. I got to tell you that.
Asset management.
I don't know. Look, it is what it is. I mean, I think all of us, being hockey, look, if you're going to trade a guy, if you got something pending, there's no point in having him in the lineup, especially if it's something that's going to happen in 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
And
it makes you feel
back game against the Rangers. The Islanders. So, but do us all a favor and trade them now.
Well, but that's the thing. Like if you're doing something like this, you're kind of saying something's close, right?
But I think you're getting to this mixed reports here now that maybe he's just not. Supposedly he's not allowed to play now. Don't expect to see Panarin until after the Olympic break, regardless.
Well,
so it's almost like they're just putting him on the shelf, and we don't know if there's a deal.
If they make a trade tomorrow, he's going to play for whoever he gets traded.
But the messages are kind of mixed. It almost looks like we don't know if there's a trade.
Yeah, it is a little bizarre. Like we've seen teams take guys and put them in the press box.
How far are we? Let me get this. How far are we away from this Winter Olympics? Oh, we literally.
Is
it 2 weeks?
The shutdown, the last day of games is Thursday the 5th. That's a week from tonight.
So here's what
That's 1 week from tonight.
What I'm getting at is to bring a guy in before the break. He's not going to really get any playing time or any real, what's he going to get, a game or two, 3 games to gel? Is there a point to it, or do you wait? How is this going to play out too? Is there a new thing now in the NHL? Maybe Panarin is being dealt, but they're not going to announce it until after the Olympics.
The Olympic roster freeze begins on Wednesday, February 4th at 3 p.m. East. So you cannot trade, move guys, whatever, starting Wednesday at 3 o'clock until
next
February.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So now we're less than a week.
Yeah.
This Wednesday coming up. And that runs through February 22nd. So that's a 3-week period where you can't.
Well, Drury better get on his horse.
Can't do
get
anything.
As much of these guys out of here.
No trades, player assignments, or roster changes allowed. Wonder if it says in here what the practice, if you're allowed to practice for everybody. NHL break will be 6th through the 24th. No trades can take place. When is this? Play resumes February 25th. You would think you would have in here when they are allowed to practice, but they don't have it in that little thing I just saw. But either way,
I think I'm trying to see how many games the Rangers have left here before the.
Everyone's got about 3 to 5. It seems like.
It's like the Rangers have before Wednesday.
Carolina coming in.
For Wednesday,
right?
They
Well,
only have 2 games.
Okay,
or 3 games total with the Islanders tonight, I think.
Yeah,
so that's 3 games left.
So 3 games before the break, till the roster freeze. They probably play that Thursday night. Also,
I don't know what's going on at MSG, brother. I have no idea.
It's just a little bizarre, a little strange. But I guess you don't want to hurt the asset. So the asset management is what it's all about now.
Ever since Trouba has been gone, this is Drury. I mean, the whole thing.
He really,
Laviolette second. I mean, last year was just, and Sully is really just an extension of Laviolette. It's the same thing. I mean, I can't watch his post game and pre-game pressers. They're just
the same
absolutely
stuff.
Boring.
Same stuff, right?
I mean, granted, he's got a contract and he's making a lot of money, but I mean, personally, I just don't know how he goes out.
He's
there
almost
and just
like
spews
that.
The same stuff.
You remember that
night.
That movie in the 90s, Kevin Kline, Dave, where they made him the president.
Yes,
with Sigourney Weaver and Kevin Kline, and
yes,
and the president, whatever happened, and they found this guy, Kevin Kline, to be the lookalike, and they taught him all how to talk like him, how to.
Yep,
that's like Sully. They taught him how to, Sully kind of had a little bit of that in him already, but he's been programmed to give the company line and all the.
I mean, last year, I mean, I just was totally just ripping Laviolette. I mean, every press conference was horrible. There was one he was like tapping on the table, and I was like, I think he's Morse coding everybody. I want to get the heck out of here.
He was trying to send a message.
I mean, it was just painful to watch. And Sully comes in, he's excited. He's won a Stanley Cup and Pittsburgh Penguins and all that other stuff. And again, it's all the preseason promises and the directives and what they're going to do. And JT Miller gets the C and so on and so forth. But it comes on the heels of Kreider, showing the door as well too. And there's just there's no chemistry. There's really not a lot of I think we already talked about this. There's really not a lot, and I'll just speak for myself. There's not a lot for me as a Rangers fan to really kind of attach myself to. Now, fair play to the players. The young kids that are out there on the Rangers. They're playing Radish, Laba, for all this stuff. They're doing what they can. And I just think it's too lopsided for guys like Zibanejad and Miller, the veterans here too. And obviously now Panarin coming out. Obviously not having Foxy in the lineup is big, and Shesty hasn't been around. So, I mean, there's that side of it too, which doesn't help. And with Foxy and Shesty out, and now Panarin be playing, you might as well, like I said, the flag is up, it's flying high, and we as Ranger fans, I think just everybody just has to let go of this season. It's over. It's done.
Finished. No shot.
Hopefully just try and play out the rest of it with some sort of respect. And really, until they make these other moves, like I want to see, does Mika go?
Yeah.
I don't think Miller's going anywhere. I don't think they can move him anywhere. But does the Zibanejad go? Does
part of the solution
go? Does he
part
go?
Of the solution, not the problem. Miller's part of the solution. He's,
I think if he's, I like JT Miller. I wanted him here. I applauded him getting the C.
He was part of your conspiracy theory. I think he's one of the guys that
I said he was not gonna be one of the guys that was gonna be moved.
So I don't think he's gonna be moved. I think Zibanejad and Lafreniere don't move.
I mean, at this point. But see, Zibanejad and JT Miller are friends. And I think they're going to keep them together for that.
They got rid of all Zibanejad's other friends, too, didn't they?
Yeah, I know.
So he's still crying about Kreider not being there. One other thing league-wide before we move on to some other things. We have Sunday, February 1st, the Stadium Series in Tampa at the Pirate Ship, Raymond James. In Tampa, where the Bruins and the Lightning will get together. Outdoor game, second outdoor game in Florida in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So we had, of course, Rangers-Panthers that January 2nd, that night game there. They're playing this Sunday night at 6:30. They're going to get extremely lucky in terms of the weather because today in Tampa it's 61 and the rink is up. You see, go look in the NHL. They've put the pictures up and they have like a little dome on top of the rink to kind of keep everything. They've got like all these machines and everything hooked up to it to keep the ice going. But the good news for them is that Sunday night, first of all, the high on Sunday period is 48.
Good stuff.
And that's with the sun out in the afternoon. The high is 48. Night, clear skies, very cold, low 34, winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Man, did Gary get lucky on this one. He ended up with
and there's no football on Sunday.
And that's why I was going to ask you that, because they usually play these on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock or say these Stadium Series games.
Yeah,
slides in Sunday at 6:30 on the NFL off week. Maybe, and we hammer Gary for a lot of things.
It's not going to push the needle, but go ahead.
It's not going to push the needle. You're right. You could say all this stuff, and it even has the big, mighty ESPN backing to this one. This is not a TNT. This is an ESPN game on Sunday night. And I have had, you watch it. I haven't seen much promotion that they have the Stadium Series game outdoor at Tampa on Sunday night.
Unless you're watching the NHL Network all day.
But I'm saying on ESPN. Whether you watch their various games and never see their college basketball every night and everything. I haven't seen much of them pushing that they have this Stadium Series game Sunday night. So you're 100% right. In terms of moving the needle, no. There won't be any of that.
And it's crazy. You see me always post on Twitter that the NFL numbers or the college football numbers. Did you happen to see the numbers for the Manchester United Arsenal game last Sunday?
Is this the U.S. number on what was on NBC
Worldwide.
or Peacock? Worldwide, I did not see, but I'm sure it was absolutely massive.
700 million.
Worldwide. How about that?
Is that a real number?
That's nuts. But that is why, and people don't like hearing this, it's the world's game. Like it really is. It's the world's game. And that, that tells you right there. Like,
but it is laughable.
But that's also
NHL.
why, as much as I complain and bellyache about the NFL playing these games in all these places, they are doing that because they want that. They want that.
Yeah.
They want, and remember,
plan.
that's not even like a championship game. That game that you're talking about. That is just that was a regular game on the regular season schedule, right?
Yeah, I mean, two obviously huge fan bases.
Yes, but
worldwide, a big game for them. Big game for Arsenal. Arsenal hadn't lost at home in over a year.
This is why,
top of the league.
As much as people like me complain about it, that is the NFL vision of why they're playing these games in Madrid and in Dublin and in England and in Berlin and all. They want to be able to.
Yeah, and I'm sure I haven't. Do you remember what the ratings were on those European games? I mean, I don't know if they're like 20, 30 million or whatever.
I mean, but like you say,
combined with US
what
and
the worldwide number is and things of that nature. It's not close
the
to
NHL
that.
is just this little.
I mean, they'll be lucky if they have.
speck.
They'll be lucky if they have 500,000 people watch that game Sunday night. They'll be lucky. They'll be lucky. 500K.
Just
Sunday night, 6:30.
So here's a who
ESPN.
you got. Who you got on Sunday night's ratings? I'll give.
Forget who's going to win the game. Who cares between Tampa and Boston?
Who you got on the ratings?
Plus or minus 750,000. Over or under 750,000. Going to watch the Stadium Series game on ESPN 6:30 Sunday night. I'm taking the under.
All right, I'll go with the over.
I'm taking the under. So we will get. And if it's now, the thing is, if it's good, you won't hear the end of it Monday. They'll have all their people out there. Look at this, 900,000, 1.2 million.
I don't know if they'll get there.
When you hear nothing, that means I would have gotten the under. That means I was right. I'm taking the under 750,000 watch.
Bruins Lightning. Only because there's no football on and it's right around dinner time.
And
there will be TVs on all over the place as far as sports bars, restaurants, at home that maybe, just maybe, and the East Coast, Northeast is going to be pounded with snow again on Sunday.
No, I don't. This isn't. No, I don't want to hear this. Pounded.
So
with
I don't know.
snow.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over.
All right.
I'm going to take the over.
Historical.
Come on, NHL.
I guess these are Stadium Series numbers. This is not Winter Classic. Stadium Series, like this game is on Saturday night. The highest one ever. Last year, ESPN Stadium Series game, around the same time.
What night of the new?
I would have to go and look, but if you remember, it was in Columbus for Red Wings Blue Jackets at where the Buckeyes play in Columbus at the Horseshoe. 1.6 million.
Oh, buddy.
Wow. And how about Islanders Rangers at MetLife the year before? You were there.
I was there.
It was cold. 1.57 million. That was an afternoon game, too.
Big push from all the New York Rangers fans.
Flyers Devils the night before. Remember, they played at MetLife the night before.
Yes.
1.13 million.
Oh, buddy, man, look, I think you maybe chose the under 2.
Hurricanes Capitals in Raleigh in 2023, 1.1 million.
Uh-oh. Look, numbers aren't good for you, buddy.
2022 Preds Lightning. Where did they play that game? Is that in Nashville, I guess?
Preds Lightning. Yes, it was in Nashville.
600,000.
All right, so we have this is a southern part of the country game. So was that one.
Well, remember, you have Bruins in this game.
I know, but the game is down south.
Yes. The games I gave you, Columbus, Horseshoe, MetLife, the 2 games at MetLife.
All Northeast.
Game in, well, I mean, Raleigh, South, North Carolina,
It's Northeast. It's just starting to head north.
Avalanche Kings 2020. That was at Air Force, I believe, and at the Air Force Academy.
Colorado Springs.
900,000,
Close.
950,000 for that one. So we got a little bar here, a little base for what some of the ones the past couple. I'm surprised Red Wings Columbus was 1.6 million last year. I will not change my bet. I will
you know
say
what that is, though? That's the Detroit Red Wing fan base.
That's where the Bruins part of it might get me here.
Yeah,
on Sunday
but I don't
night,
know if the Bruins are big, no doubt about it. But I don't know if they have the push like Rangers and Red Wings have, and Blackhawk fans do have across the country.
Yeah.
We'll see, man.
All right. Well, there you go. We've got forget who you got to win. We've got who you got ratings for the NHL coming up soon. All right. Carver and Cuthbert Go Sports Radio, Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Paulie's going to give you a little stuff that's going on at Borrelli's here, and then we'll get into a couple of other things. What do you got here at Borrelli's, Paulie?
All right, it's firing up tonight. I just want to kind of get let's see what the specials are here. Hang on a second.
Tonight we got the Hockey Night in New York.
All right, so Hockey Night in New York is going to do a pregame show for the big Islanders and Rangers finale here tonight at Borrelli, live in the house. Come on down. The pre-show starts, I think, at 6 o'clock, and game time is somewhere around 7. So yes. Here are the specials tonight for tonight is $4 Miller Lights. And if you come in here tonight before the game and mention the Carver and Cuthbert podcast here at Borrelli's Taproom on 12 West Beach Street here in Long Beach, New York,
yes,
you get your first Miller Lite draft for free on me and Mike.
Free of charge.
On Carver and Cuthbert, okay? Then there's $4 Miller Lite drafts for the rest of the night. And then there's $5 Pulling Ears and South Shore Pints. That's great.
Yeah.
$7. Look at this stuff here. $7, 1,800 margaritas, baby. Woo. Thinking of the summer here tonight. Yeah. And then $35 buckets of Surfside or High Noons, your favorites, right?
I like Surfsides. I like Surfsides.
There you go.
Yeah.
So all that stuff coming in. So come on down and see the Islanders crush the New York Rangers one more time for this final matchup of the season here tonight at Borrelli's. This weekend, live music returns. Free admission on Friday for Ceviche and the Boys at 7 p.m. on Friday night. All great specials, obviously, all weekend long here at Borrelli's. And then on Saturday, there is a fundraiser here for the firefighters, Long Beach Union, I believe, firefighters union here from 3 to 7 p.m. Open to the public. Come on down as a donation fee. Go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com for all the information. So Borrelli's will be open all day Saturday, evening, and everything else. But there is a fundraiser here for the bulk of the day. So come on down, support the firefighters at 3 o'clock here at Borrelli's on Saturday. On Sunday, live music returns as well with Evan Corriga at 4 p.m. and then DJ Tim Select at 7 p.m. So that's what's going on here this weekend at Borrelli's, and it kicks off tonight with the big Icelanders and Strangers game with Hockey Night in
Smash
New York.
job
I think
tonight.
we know those guys. They put on a good show.
Smash job
Smash job indeed.
for the Islanders. In fact, Sorokin to have a shutout.
Maybe another shutout for Sorokin.
Plus
Yeah,
950.
exactly.
Sorokin for a shutout tonight.
Woo.
Rangers under 1.5 goals, plus 270.
They got no gusto, the Rangers.
No gusto.
I don't even think Sorokin's going to break a sweat tonight.
He's going to look like Mendoza after a couple of those college football playoff games
yes.
Before the final, where he looked like he didn't even play
Yep.
after they were over. Here we go. Go Sports Radio at Borrelli's. All right, a few things. First of all, I will tell you, I'm watching what's going on back here.
Oh, Buffalo, right?
No.
I'm sorry.
Something else, actually. I started the show today talking to you about snow, and I've had enough of it. Just get me to the – and then I got to look over to my right shoulder and watch the opening round of the Farmers Insurance Open from beautiful, sunny Torrey Pines in Southern California.
Is that what you were sighing about?
And I'm just like, God, I wish I was there right now. Just down in Whoya, just down there, watching the golf, the beautiful, the cliffs and the water and Torrey Pines. I mean, it's just.
I just picture.
And then that's to my right, and then I look to my left, and I have this.
I was just gonna say
mountains
a
of
picture
snow,
at home, looking out your window with a golf club in your hand. You know,
oh, I love it.
Dreaming about
it. Just looks so great out there. I wish and that's why I love the start of the golf season, because it's the dead of winter here. And I get to watch guys play golf in Hawaii and California next week, of course, in at the Waste Management in Arizona. They go to. So
Waste Management has a tourney, huh?
Oh, they've had it. They call it the Wasted Management now. There's so much. It's a big party tournament.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm in Scottsdale. I'm really that's what, because then I look out here and I got this, and then it makes me feel good watching the golf.
So how many tournaments? How many? Let's talk about this. How did this work? The season has started. You just said
season starts.
So who's at the top of the leaderboard?
They just started today. So today's Thursday.
Well,
no, this is the third tournament of the year so far. So they started 2 weeks ago in Hawaii. So you had the Sony Open in Hawaii. You had the American Express in California at PGA West last week, and now they're in Southern California at Torrey Pines for the Farmers Insurance. So this is, now you got an event every week now.
So do you guys? Is there a leaderboard? Is there like?
Today just started, so the leaderboard would be for that event.
But I'm saying,
but for you're talking about for the whole season, yes, that would be called the FedEx Cup points.
Yes,
for the end of the season. Because they're only 2 weeks in, the two guys who won would be at the top. So Gotterup and Scotty Scheffler would probably be at the top.
Let me ask you this:
last week. So.
Do you watch any of this indoor golf? Tiger Woods?
TGL.
Yeah.
Last year when it started, I was really into it, and I watched a lot of it. I think that they made a strategically poor move this year. They started it a little bit earlier, before January 1st. They played it at weird times, Friday at 5:30. Like I don't know why. They had a good thing last year. It was like always a Monday night at like 7 or 8:30, and it was a perfect time. And someone must have told them, let's try it this way this year. And I feel like the times haven't. Now, the other night they played, that was with Rory and the Boston team, and they were on at 7 o'clock on must have been Tuesday night. Maybe they played Monday or Tuesday night. So I enjoy it. I like the concept of it. I think it's awesome that you could play an 18-hole match with 6 of the best players in an hour and a half. I think that part of it is appealing to people because, look, not everyone's a diehard like me. I can sit and watch this all day, and I can get enjoyment out of it. Most of that's probably because of betting too, but I can get enjoyment out of watching a golf all day on a Sunday or something. Most people won't do that. They're not going to sit there and watch golf for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, and they don't even see every shot. What is cool about the TGL is that it's fast. The whole thing's done in an hour and a half. You're seeing every shot. You're seeing now. Do I think it's a little
hole-in-one last week? First hole-in-one?
I think there was, yeah. Do I think it's a little hitting balls into screens? It's a little,
I'll say for me, I mean, look, I appreciate and respect the game. The whole simulation thing is a little, but fair play, man. It looks like look visually, it's a fantastic production.
It is.
Obviously, you got great golfers in there. and because that's going to lead into my next question. Tiger's involved in this, and he's playing in this.
Right.
Is he playing on the?
Well, he hasn't played this season because
I saw him at.
He's been at them. He's
So-
the Jupiter team is his team, but he's been at his team's matches, but he hasn't played yet this season
So
because he's been out hurt.
So understand my confusion because I saw that hole in one last week.
Right.
I saw him amongst the guys, so I just assumed that he was playing.
He's like the one guy who shows up even when he's not playing.
Because he's not playing outdoors.
Not playing anywhere.
Okay.
He, look, he probably shouldn't play again ever. I mean, he's had like 15 back surgeries at this point.
I wasn't aware.
He's like the bionic man at this point.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. Obviously he's not quitting. He wants to keep trying, but I think I saw him say in one of these interviews at the start of this season that he's still trying to build his body back to be able to, he always wants to try to play the Masters every year.
Looks
and he
like
wants
he's
to
in great shape, man.
He is, but he's made of rods and bolts. He's kind of made of at this point. So that's the hard part for him. But he hasn't played. He's just been out there because they need his face.
Yeah,
there for those things.
Well, he's a partner in that.
He's plenty of money going in his pocket.
Yeah,
for that.
Now the betting on it, as far as the indoor game as opposed
you
to
can
the
bet on
outdoor game, but I mean, do you find it yourself? The
outdoor
outdoor game's the way to go, and not so much on the indoor thing.
I have bet it. It's different. I have a little bit of and listen, I know that it's hard to hear me say that I'm drawing a line somewhere when it comes to betting on something. I kind of have to draw a line with betting on guys hitting a ball into a screen. Like if I'm betting on this, do I know it's on the up and up?
Do you know?
I
don't know if there's a guy behind the screen with a remote control?
Exactly. So that's why I think there's some things that they could probably make it a little bit better from a betting aspect. But it's hard for me to go full force on knowing if I'm, like I see some guys that like hit a pure shot and it's going to the left. Like how do you know? He hit it straight into the middle of the screen. Why is it going left? What? How is this guy? The guy looked like he hit it bad. Why is it going straight? It's just how do you gauge what's actually happening? And I think that's why it's something difficult to bet on when you look at it that way. Look at that. Got some golf in.
I'm looking forward to doing some more golf. I played there right before it got cold, and I'm feeling pretty good, Mike. I mean,
good.
I want to talk more golf this year, and I'd like to play some more golf this year because I think I've finally reached an age,
right,
where I can start, appreciating the game, not only playing it, but also maybe following some of these guys.
Yeah.
Now you and we'll tell everybody watching and listening. Our family has a rich history as far as golf, as far as tournaments, playing.
Sure, the Cape Cod Irish Open.
Cousins all playing.
The Cape Cod Irish
Open.
Open.
Pretty damn good players. Our uncles, all that stuff. We've had great memories over the years. So
yearly trip to Cape
golf
Cod.
is not necessarily foreign to me. My dad, myself was also a great, really good golf player. Played for years too. Loved it. So, been around it. And appreciate it. And looking forward to talking more golf.
Good. Because you know that
look
at how beautiful it looks, Paul. Look at the screen. Look at it.
Tell
me you wouldn't rather be there right now.
I know it hurts. I'd
rather be there.
Don't do that to me, man. I'm,
Got Brooks back today. First day back on the PGA Tour for Brooks Koepka out here at the Farmers.
Good stuff.
He birdied the first hole here. Looks like he's got the honors here on hole number 2. So yeah, I'll be locked in.
Yeah, all right.
I'll be locked in and loaded for the Farmers. All weekend
windbreaker on there.
It's just so beautiful. Southern California, you can't beat it. All right, here we go. A couple things with the NFL. Number one, I saw a couple things from this Brady. I think the most notable thing was they showed a picture of Josh Allen walking out. He's there, and a couple of the players are there, and he's got crutches and a big boot on his foot. So I get Allen. So I guess So I guess that those stories that he was kind of playing these playoff games with a break in his foot were true.
Hold on. Is that like, it sounds like a mercy thing. Like, oh, look at the poor, that's the reason they lost.
He dragged him out with the crutches and the boot on. So
come on.
Take what you want from it. But he did show up. He was in attendance. Look, Brady, I'm probably gonna have to watch this later to really get a feel for he's gonna call his own plays. He really knocked out of the park the CEO aspect. He really showed them that he had a plan to how to run the football team on all aspects. And that's what they really were excited about with Joe Brady. So whatever.
So they're going straight-laced and corporate and boring and all that other stuff.
That is precisely what they are going to do. If few other things for you. You see this Sean Payton stuff this week?
With the ankles and bone
That's
necks?
part of it. Yeah. So obviously they lose on Sunday in the AFC title game. He fires the offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi. What was Joe? First of all, Joe doesn't even call the plays. Peyton does. So I guess Sean had to get someone out for them losing with a backup quarterback, I guess. So Lombardi go out, and Lombardi, I guess, said something to the effect of, you could tell he was in one of some changes needed to be made. I guess he decided that one of those was me. I've been around him long enough to know to kind of read the tea leaves. So I guess Joe knew that Sean was going to make some changes after the loss. And then there was this Bo Nix stuff, which is super bizarre because Sean Payton kind of started talking about multiple ankle surgeries that Bo Nix has had in the past.
Heard Bo wasn't happy about that.
Bo spoke, I guess it was yesterday for the first time since the season ended and all of this stuff happened, and basically said, quote, Sean shouldn't have said how many surgeries I've had because he doesn't know. That was, it seemed like he was a little annoyed. And I guess I would be too. Like, why is he telling everyone when I've had surgeries done? And that
I think
he was kind of like, Peyton was insinuating that eventually his ankle was going to get hurt because he's had so many surgeries on his ankle, I guess is what he was trying to say.
There's so much around that, from people saying that Peyton should have never made him make that rollout or that play, that eventually led to his ankle.
Look, that's,
that's a little crazy. The altitude can get to you. I lived in Colorado. The altitude can get to you up here.
Really?
In the Nugget.
Is that prevalent?
It can affect people.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Oh, buddy, we got to get you there. Are you talking about playing golf?
You tee it high and let it fly.
In the spring, in the summer, Colorado? The mountains in the background?
Tee it high and let it fly.
Oh, buddy. But, yeah. Look, at least it's we get a little bit of comedy out of this, I guess. Maybe not so funny for the Denver Broncos fans, but I think it's pretty hysterical, this whole thing.
Yeah.
And just listen to you tell them, I can't wait to see. I haven't seen it yet, but when I see Josh Allen and these crutches and stuff, that's just pure comedy to me. What's going on?
Well, if the guy wants to be there at the press conference and he had surgery, some kind of procedure on his foot, so there he is walking in. He's walking in with the crutches. Comes strolling in. Here he is walking out to the front row. He's got the crutches. He's actually moving pretty spry.
I don't know why. Put him in a wheelchair. Would have been better.
Yeah. On crutches, wearing the boots, sitting in the front row.
Oh, my God. That is just priceless. Oh, my God.
So.
What a joke. Oh, man. New
York. What is he, if he had something done to his foot, what is he supposed to do? Not show up and support the new coach? The whispers were out there that he had something wrong with his foot during the whole playoff run.
He looks like he could have walked in without any help there. Come on.
So would you have been okay? Let me ask you this.
Hysterical.
Would you have been okay with just the boot and no crutches?
Just the boot, yeah, maybe.
Because if he had surgery on, he's got something on his foot. He can't cover that up.
How about bring him in before the cameras? That optics is just crazy. But again, it looks like it's just, oh, woe is me. This is why we lost, because Josh was all banged up. It's the same thing with Peyton here, what he's doing with Nix's ankles and stuff. It's like this, fires Lombardi. The excuses are just laughable as far as I'm concerned. That's like a Saturday Night Live sketch. That's hysterical.
Gotta get the excuse train out a little bit. When you're rolling, you gotta.
That's something the New York Jets would do. Come on.
That is something the Jets would do. Jets find an offensive coordinator yet? I did see that they interviewed like 12 guys to be the offensive coordinator. Darrell Bevel, Ronald Curry, Frank Reich, Greg Roman. I can't even see the last name there. Five guys. And Lunda Wells. God, Greg Roman. What an awful hire that would be. That's got to be where the Jets are going to go, because it's going to be something extremely uninspiring. Darrell Bevel, you remember him. He was the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks when they didn't run the ball with Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line and they threw the ball instead.
I think that was all Carroll. I don't think I wouldn't blame that guy in a heartbeat. That was all Pete Carroll. What a joke.
It was all Pete Carroll there. Did you see the Hall of Fame's response to the Belichick news getting out earlier than it was supposed to?
No, I have seen from the as far as just fans and former play, all that other stuff. I've seen all those reactions, and it was. I don't know if you saw what I tweeted yesterday. That comedy skit that guy did from Boston.
Yeah.
On the blackboard.
Yes.
Anybody would just check that out. But no, let me hear you. What they say.
So they put out a little missive.
And this is on the leak, how it got out that Belichick was.
Well, they seem to be upset that somebody divulged that information, basically, which is not. And listen, you're not supposed to do that. When you're in that room and you're one of the 50 voters, you're supposed to keep all of that information under wraps until the announcement, the big announcement.
2026. That stuff don't fly.
Right. So they sent, basically, let me go to. Selection meeting is supposed to be held in the strictest confidence. The ominous statement, bylaws aren't posted, blah, 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 blah. Basically, they said that there's going to be some sanctions. Here it is, this whole entire thing.
Sanction? Who do they sanction?
They're basically saying they're going to get rid of the people that when they find out who the rat is, that they are going to take them away and they're not let them vote anymore. Take them out of the mix, pretty much. Failure to comply with this code of conduct could result in removal from the selection committee. So now, is that going to be the same thing for all the guys that then ran around yesterday saying that they did vote for him? Because they're not supposed to do that either. Everyone's on the witch hunt for the guys who didn't vote for him.
Good point.
What about all the guys who ran around saying, oh, I did, just letting everybody know I did vote for him. And I can't believe that they didn't. Now, technically, that guy is also breaking the
there's people
confidence
out there
or
with
the circle of trust.
Walking down who said they voted. And
now,
narrow
one
it down,
guy,
right?
the guy from Kansas City actually did come out and say, I'm one of the guys who didn't vote for him. And he actually said his reasoning was, it's not for any of the stuff that you guys are talking about. He goes, it's because of the format and the way that they do things. I can only vote for these guys basically one more time. LC Greenwood and there was two other older players, Roger Craig, LC Greenwood. Somebody else goes, if I don't vote for those guys, I feel those guys are Hall of Famers, and this is my last chance to vote for them, or else. And I want my vote. I want it to be known that I believe those guys are Hall of Famers. You're only letting me vote for 3 people. I'm voting for the 3 that it's their last chance that they can get in. I think Bill should be there, but it's the situation you put me in that forced me to not vote for him. Is basically what his take was on it.
How does that fly with you?
I don't believe him. No, I actually do kind of a little bit, because the process is stupid at the end of the day. I think that they have added too many stipulations and layers and committees, and one guy comes in through this way and another guy comes in through this way, and this guy it should be like one way to do it. Like, here's a name. Out of the 50 of you, who thinks he's a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Okay, 38 say yes. Okay, we'll go to the next one. By the way, who's your 44 out of 50? Okay, now we take the 5 guys who got the most votes and we put them in that year. Shouldn't that be like the
sounds simple enough? Simple
way to do it, I would think. It's not. There's one pathway for builders and coaches and legends and veterans, whatever. Baseball does this dopey thing too, where they have modern era committee, veterans committee, this committee, old time committee. It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's all backdoor nonsense. And
wow, there's just a lot of drama going on in the NFL here. I think it's probably good for us between now and the Super Bowl.
But that's the thing. Think about it in that aspect. Why do you think that information comes out this week? The Belichick stuff. Why do you think that
keep people
just
on NFL
casually gets leaked out this week?
I don't have a viewpoint on that, but I'd like to hear because you obviously bring this up for a reason. Outside of the fact that it's downtime between now, it's maybe not everybody's excited about this Super Bowl, the 2 teams that are in it, but that would be my thought, that all this kind of fun, crazy.
The same reason why deflated footballs was brought up this week. The same reason why, remember the year Ray Lewis with the deer antler spray? Remember, there's you got to have something to fill the bye week.
You have to remind me about the deer antler spray.
That it was like a steroid that he was spraying deer antler spray on himself. That was another bye week NFL classic.
Who does that?
Super Bowl. I have the deer antler spray.
Does it help your golf game?
I mean, that's true. But there always
seems
to be.
Can the Rangers get some? Start handing them out in the locker room tonight.
Deer antler spray. In 2013, prior to the Super Bowl, Sports Illustrated alleged that Ray Lewis used or sought to use deer antler velvet spray containing IGF-1, a banned substance. That was all we did. This was
spraying his hair. What does he do?
We did a whole week of this at Fan or wherever I was at that point. A whole week of it because that was the talking point. For some reason, something like this always seems to slither out the week. And why? Because what else would they? I mean, we've already talked about how nobody's jacked up for this game. It's a boring Patriots and Seahawks. Nobody's excited. I went on VSiN last night, and I was talking to Dustin Sweetles, and it's like, there's no juice for nobody. Like is excited about the game. Like, so how do we keep the NFL in talks? Well, let's drop the story that Belichick's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Here we go. We've got a whole week of NFL to talk before people will start to get excited on Monday because they're at Santa Clara. They're talking about the game then, and that then shifts to there. It's all to keep the NFL rolling in everybody's circles.
There's a diehard Ranger fan there with a Ranger hat on.
You want to go ask him how he could wear it? How could you wear that today? Do you want to go ask him? How could you do it?
Actually, Long Beach is a pretty big Ranger town, actually. But I have a feeling there'll be a lot of Isles fans in the house tonight.
Right now, this is an Isles town.
Man, this is I know there was kind of talk on
this
public radio last 24 hours.
That's what this is. Isles town now.
But that's the deer antler spray is funny. But yeah, I guess, but I mean, so we can take obviously the Bills thing, the Broncos thing, that's obviously a direct result of what just happened there. This whole thing with Belichick coming out, the Hall of Fame, the leak, a little different, kind of maybe leans towards, that thought of, like I said, there's no juice. There's nothing to talk about. So let's get this out there so people will still
talk about the NFL.
Yeah, the NFL.
That's it. That's how
I didn't look. Who else? Who did? I mean, the other. What's your thoughts on Eli getting?
Well, that also is leaked out that he didn't make it either. He really is the ultimate. Like, is he a Hall of Famer or not? Discussion piece, because there's one side of it where his postseasons are, no doubt about it, 100% Hall of Fame worthy as a two-time Super Bowl MVP.
I agree. I mean, I loved him, and he won 2 championships here, and he was a great Giant, and it was a great run, and just having him here, and it doesn't matter. Like I said, you get 2 wins, 2 incredible wins. But yeah, I would lean towards. I don't know if he's definitely a first ballot or.
Well, he's definitely This will be his second time miss, so he'll be 0 for 2 now.
But I don't know. I don't know if he's
and look, sometimes this comes down to.
Well, let me make this either. Do you think he eventually gets into the Hall of Fame on his career? Do guys get in on their championships alone, do you think? Or is it more in the whole body of work for you take a guy like Montana, you take a guy like Jerry Rice, because there's so many records that they were a part of. You know what I'm saying? In addition to the championships.
Yeah.
So there's that angle as far as, and then there's guys who don't win championships who, led the league and, in their categories and so on and so forth. So that gets them into the Hall of Fame. Where are you on that?
Yeah, I feel like the NFL is the one. NFL and the NBA have become the ones where championships seem to matter more or have a little bit more weight. But look, you've got plenty of guys in the Pro Football Hall of Fame who don't have any championships. I mean, you just go to especially in the quarterback room, you look at Marino and Kelly, and there's guys that are in there that don't have that. And I think sometimes also what you have to factor in is who else. And this is important because of what we were just talking about with the Belichick thing and that voter saying how I can only vote for 3 guys. Like, what do you want me to do? Who else is coming in that year? Like this year is an example. Drew Brees it's his first year on the ballot. Drew Brees versus Eli Manning. Eli, yes, has 2 championships. Brees has 1, but Brees' regular season numbers destroy Eli Manning's regular season numbers. What tips the scales more? Drew's going to be a first ballot. He's going to probably go in this year. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And so that's like another year where, Eli probably needs a year, Paulie, where there isn't another new quarterback on the ballot. There isn't another, there's someone else like, and I'm not saying it's slipping through the back door because you get in. It's, you're a Hall of Famer. But sometimes who else is available that year and who's a first timer, that stuff matters with who's going to get in at that point.
Interesting. Well, you know what?
I think he will eventually be in, whether it's through the legitimate way that this is or down the road in one of these,
You're talking about Eli.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that he is a Hall of Famer. I think that when you do the stuff that he did in those 2 runs, and look, it's not like he was a 100 games under 500 as a regular season quarterback. I think the biggest knock on him is he's got as many interceptions as touchdowns, and he's got all, I mean, that happens when you play for 14 years. And that sometimes that stuff does go through, but he'll never have the regular season numbers that a Brady or a Manning or a Breeze or some of these other guys will have. That just wasn't his game.
Mm-hmm.
But his game rose so high in the Super Bowls and in the playoffs that stuff kind of gives you a little extra. And one of the guys he gets compared with, because they were in the same draft class, and hell, they were even traded for each other, was Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers never played in a Super Bowl, period.
Mm-hmm.
His regular season numbers, though, are much better than Eli's. So what's more important? Is it Phillip Rivers' tons of regular season success? Is it Eli's 2 Super Bowl championship? They both came in the same exact time in the same exact draft class. What's more important?
And you look at Belichick.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
Right. Which, there's other, obviously.
Hey, you want to get a
things
beer
at
and then we'll
play.
come back? What do you say?
Yeah, that's fine. We could do that.
Let's do that.
We could absolutely do that.
All parts, man.
Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. We'll come back. Got a couple other things. Brian Cashman spoke yesterday.
Yes. Told you. He's just like me. Feels the same way as me.
Highlighted. It was like I was reading. I highlighted all the important things that he said, and I wanted to tell you about them and see if you agreed with his assessment.
I do.
Of the 2026 Yankees
do.
when we
Yep.
come back. All right. Go Sports Radio, Borrelli's Taproom. We're back after this. us. And we are back. Carver and Cuthbert Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom here
Cheers,
in
pal.
Long Beach
Rest
on
of
the
the
island.
weekend.
Oh, look at this.
And to
Weekend. There you
everybody's
go.
been tuning in, checking out the content. We appreciate it. Cheers.
There you go. And if all you got to do is
That's
mention
lovely on a Thursday afternoon.
Carver and Cuthbert show here at Borrelli's, and you get one of these. So it's
delicious,
it's
cold,
great.
frosty Miller Lite draft. Just by
And
mentioning
it
me
works.
and your name.
It
That's
works just as good right now when they 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock at night, whenever you want to come down and get
You can't
one.
walk in here and say Borrelli and
Can't do it.
Barzell and Horvat. You can't say that. But if you say Carver and Cuthbert,
No, that's true. That's very, very true. Brian Cashman spoke yesterday.
My boy.
This was, I guess, they had a little conference call with Cody Bellinger on re-signing with the team, and
Who some say was a little
he did
frosty.
But he he looked like he was out of it. Like he looked like he'd been I don't know, maybe hitting the vape. I don't know how you want to put it with Cody, but he's looked like that in the past too. So maybe that's an off-season activity of his. I have no idea. But Cashman did speak. So one of the things that was said to him, of course, was, you're bringing back the same team. Have I not been saying that? I've been saying you're bringing back the same team. What it's
a
I have
little
to look
different.
forward to here. What's
Look, obviously it's a lot of the same.
He
roster.
responded to this.
I know. Go ahead. Let everybody know.
Quote, it's not the same roster. We have players returning from IL. Pause, sidebar. I always love when guys do this. They make people coming back from injuries like a big ad. That's a continuing on. We added weapons at the deadline. Refresh my memory. What were the weapons that they added at the deadline? I guess that's Ryan McMahon. Is that the weapon that they added at the deadline?
You're going to go Bednar in there. I mean,
Bednar. That's a weapon, sure. I guess a couple bullpen arms. Dotel, another weapon at the deadline. We have
he made the moves that he could make at the time.
We have young pups that have earned the right to climb up the ladder. Who would that be?
Well,
because I saw one that got kicked back down the ladder in Dominguez last year. He was kind of kicked back down the ladder.
Well, this is the thing. If he's talking about climb up the ladder, I mean, maybe he's referring to guys like Wells and Rice and Volpe.
Oh, okay.
Obviously,
all right.
They are still very young guys. You got to give them a chance.
We have big arms.
We do.
That we acquired, one from Colorado and one from the Marlins. So the Yankees, of course, the Marlins one would be Weathers. That would be the big arm that he's talking about there. I need my memory refreshed. What are they talking about? This Chiavelli, I guess, this right-handed pitch Chiavelli. That's who that's a big arm. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. He had a 6.18 ERA for Colorado last year. That's a big arm.
What's your point, Michael? Are you a little upset with GM Brian Cashman here? What's
well,
you
know that I am.
What's
you know
the
that
problem?
because it is the same team. There are no young pups that have been Wells and Volpe. These guys aren't young pups. They've been on the team for years. Young pups is Dominguez. That's a young pup. That guys like that are young pups.
Spencer Jones.
Where are these big arms?
Maybe get him.
Is he going to play? Prove me wrong. If he plays, then fine. I'll agree with the young pups.
I still have this deep down feeling that the Yankees are going to make a trade somehow, some way with Trent Grisham in it.
I don't believe it.
That's just
who would want him.
But it might be all right in a package deal for something that might kind of come up. I don't know.
If that actually came up, they should drive him to I'll go drive him to the airport. They found a way to get
come on, man. TG played well last year. Come on.
He'll never.
You don't know
ever
that.
Have another season like he had last year.
You don't know that.
Not a believer.
Yankees got rid of 2 weak guys in the bullpen who cost them a lot of games last year.
Okay.
So, I think the Yankees.
Well, they got big arms. That's what Brian says.
They're going to be
big arms.
Giancarlo, AJ, that's all we need.
Hey, yeah, that's
it.
I am not going to be a believer.
I am. I think
this is and listen, this is the same. We had this discussion last week. If you're okay with 92 wins and going out in the division round every year, that's fine. And I strive for more.
Do you know how hard it is to win 90 games and get into the playoffs in MLB. Look at all the other franchises.
They're not the Yankees.
I know, but the Yankees
Standards are higher.
Oh,
Well, they were higher.
it's a hard,
They're not higher
it's a hard
anymore.
game.
They were higher.
And the Yankees are there every year, except 2 years ago. But I mean,
Right there. They're on that. They get just good enough for them.
start
Hal
spreading the news.
Hal gets a couple more games with the $55 park. I know he doesn't get the parking money and the $23 Heinekens and all that. He gets another couple games of that, and that's just fine by him.
I think it's
just
going
fine
to be
by
a great
him.
season, barring
So-
any major
So
injuries.
Can they change it this year? Like usually the last 2 or 3 years, the way it goes is great April, May, lull June, July, August, and then kind of trend you back up towards the end. Maybe they'll start bad this year and then give us some
No,
excitement and
they-
come from behind.
I will say this: the Yankees cannot start bad this year. That can't happen.
Well, they can.
No,
They can.
no,
Because
I don't think that. No,
all these guys that they're banking on aren't going to be back till May or June. So
no, they will have a good start of the season. They have to have a good start of the
they
season.
have to.
They have to. Yes, they have to, because of the fact they've got to put as much wins as they possibly can through the first couple months of the season, because they do have an older team. All right, and it just goes to show you just kind of got to get in there. You got to be in there at the end of the year and then see what happens at the trade deadline, see where the injuries fall out, see how the young guys are playing and everything else. And if we get Cole back and the staff is, Rodon and all this stuff, and we'll see what happens, and Bednar taking over the lead in the bullpen, and, we'll see what happens. But I'm confident. I think they'll be all right. But I do think they have to manage the team, which is very hard to say in a different way when it's been Booney, but
I'll give you.
I just
give you a little,
want to say this: they have to be good out of the gate, because I think if the Yankees struggle, like guys like you and other fans and stuff who are really down on this team, you guys are just going to pile on, and it's just going to be.
I'll pile on anyway.
Wow,
They could start good, and I'll pile on.
come on.
So I'll pile on anyway. I will give you a little bit of optimism. I know I keep tying back to this big pile of snow that I keep looking at to the left of me. 55 days to opening day.
Yeah,
55 days.
love it.
That's and as you said, because you're pumped up for it. Really, it's like even less than that, because the World Baseball Classic, you're in for that. So
Buddy, you're going to be able to be at home in a couple of weeks, and you'll have golf on one TV,
Yeah.
and you'll have spring training on the other, and you'll have the World Baseball Classic.
I'll put the World Baseball Classic on. I didn't watch the spring training games. It's just
You got to watch the young pups that.
young pups. I would like a little bit more of a definition about his young pups. Spencer Jones not even in the top 100 MLB prospects anymore. That's how good a year he had last year.
They're going to find a way. The Yankees always do.
They're gonna find a way. All right, I have a couple of other basketball things for you, but why don't you let everybody know after that, Peroni, what is going on at Borrelli's tonight, this weekend, et cetera, et cetera.
All right. A little bit of music for this one, okay?
Good.
All right, tonight, Islanders Rangers at the Garden. Watch party here at Borrelli's with Hockey Night in New York podcast, pregame show at 6 o'clock. All kinds of specials, food, drinks, buckets. There's no better place to watch the game unless you're at the game than Borrelli's right here down in Long Beach, okay? So that's tonight. Live music returns to Borrelli's this weekend. Friday night, it's Ceviche and the Boys at 7 p.m. Free admission. On Saturday, there will be a fundraiser for the local fire departments here in Long Beach from 3 to 7 p.m. It's open to the public. There is a donation fee to come in. Go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com to find out all the information on that. And then on Sunday, live music as well with Evan Kariga at 4 p.m. And then DJ TM Select comes in at 7 p.m. All right, so it's going to be a lot of fun here. Get it in at Borrelli's, as always. And we will keep letting everybody know every time we talk about what's going on at Borrelli's. Walk in here anytime, any day of the week, and mention the Carver and Cuthbert show, and you get a free Miller Lite draft. So you Rangers and Islander fans coming out to Borrelli's tonight to watch the game, just walk in and say, hey, look, I heard if I mention the Carver and Cuthbert podcast sports show, I get a free Miller Lite draft to start the night off. And boom, and then you can go into the $4 Miller Lite drafts that they're going to have for the whole evening. There you go, Mike.
It really is as good as it gets when you say it that way. It really doesn't get much better. All right, Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio at Borrelli's. Really good win for the Knicks last night. It seemed like they were going to be down a couple guys. And for the third time this year, they smashed the Raptors. I couldn't understand this line move. The Raptors were like 4.5-point favorites right before tip. And the Knicks smashed them. Bridges had 30. Towns actually had 22 boards, which is for him, pretty good to see him actually hit the glass. They outscored him 37-22 in the fourth quarter. After a pretty and usually that West Coast trip in January, it seems like they have it every year. It always sets them in a little bit of a lull. But they've bounced back from it in a big way now with 4 straight wins, including, of course, the last 2 nights beating the Kings and the Raptors. They're home Friday night for the Blazers. And then they play the the Lakers Sunday night, excuse me. So Knicks-Lakers Sunday night.
This Sunday night?
This Sunday
What
night.
time?
7 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Man, sorry about the NHL.
And that game is on.
Now you're back in the driver's seat now. I didn't know the Knicks and the Lakers
and that
were on
game
Sunday
is
night.
the first. Now that football has ended, last Sunday night was, I guess, the last NFL game. This is the first of NBC's Sunday night basketball. Knicks-Lakers is their first Sunday night basketball
I would
game.
imagine they're promoting it more than
the Bruins and Lightning in the Stadium Series game on ESPN.
Now I'm having second thoughts about the over.
No, it'll be fine. And the NBA trade deadline is 1 week from today.
Okay.
You have next Thursday is the trade deadline. Of course, yesterday we mentioned all the Giannis stuff.
Is there any other buzz about anything else going on besides Giannis?
No, because when you have a name that big, it dominates all the discussion until something happens. I did see a story that the Warriors are very interested. Now, the Warriors lost Jimmy Butler for the year. He got hurt. And maybe putting Giannis with Steph. And they really wanted to try to get Steph one more run.
That would be sweet.
I don't think Giannis wants to go there.
No, you don't think
it sounds like he wants to go East Coast.
Really?
He prefers the Knicks. He prefers Miami. Actually, I heard he wouldn't mind Minnesota either. But again, people can throw these teams out and these situations out and all these things. But at the end of the day, the Bucks also need to get value back for him. I know that it sounds nice. Oh man, Giannis on the Knicks. What are you giving them back?
Yeah.
What are the Heat giving them back? What are these teams giving back? Because you're talking about one of the not just best. This is a legitimate worldwide superstar, still with some years left.
Is he?
I'm gonna say I won't even venture to guess right now. I will tell you.
And he's been with the Bucks his whole career, correct?
Whole career he's been with the Bucks. He is now 31. Just turned 31 in December.
Well, maybe. So
he's still got. Listen,
I'm going to ask.
There's still some gas in the tank.
So what? 2 more years? 3 more years?
Yeah, I think 4. Honestly.
Really?
Well, look at these guys now. Paulie, they play longer.
Yeah.
They're now some bigger guys like him do break down, and he's had some injuries here now the last couple of years. You've seen Durant get up here and get some more injuries now too, and but you make a trade for him now, you're still getting some mileage out of him.
And or if you're a team that possibly can make a run this year or next year,
right?
Maybe it's a little easier to give up a couple of things.
Right. I just think the hardest thing with him is compensation, because I think that he's one of a handful of players where I don't think you'd ever get true value back for him. Like Giannis and Joker and all these are guys it's hard to quantify their worth. And I think either way the Bucks are gonna get screwed one way or the other, I think, in terms of what they're gonna get back. But I think they're playing ball with him, because at the end of the day, he's done one thing that a lot of these guys who try to get out of town didn't do. He did bring them a title. So yeah. I think there is a little bit of, okay to it on that aspect. It's not like he's leaving without bringing them a championship. He did get them a title. And I think that sometimes that rates a little bit.
And this is all based on what? So this is his last year of his contract, or
He's got another year after this.
he does.
Oh yeah.
So this is just something.
In fact, he might even have another one after that. So it's. Look,
when did this all start? This whole buzz about him being moved by the Bucs.
Well, you can really trace this back 2 summers ago, I guess, when the Bucs had a couple of tough playoff losses. He obviously had already won a title, but wants to win more.
Mhm.
Didn't think, and they made a big trade to get Damian Lillard with him. Didn't pan out. Then last year, they got off to this pretty decent start with this Adrian Griffin, who they hired as coach. I think they were 30-13. And they fired him and brought Doc Rivers in. And it has been downhill since Doc came in. Doc has been Dr. Doom for the Bucs. And now it's over. It's move on time for everybody.
So it's time
that's
to
involved.
It's
good
time.
Stuff back. Yeah, Doc he did the job there. He busted that scene up.
When's the last time Doc was successful?
Well,
was it in Boston?
Well, the thing is that Doc still living off of that title with the Celtics, which was in 2008 with Garnett and Allen and Pierce. I mean, he's lost 1 billion enormous games in his life since with the Clippers and like it's just Sixers and now Milwaukee. He's lived off that for a while.
I get it. We've talked about this in the past about the NHL. How, at least the NHL is starting to change a little bit. There's a little bit of a.
They've brought in some younger guys in the NHL, and the NBA has some of the teams have too. But
man, in the NHL, so bad. Just old coach going to this team,
right,
that team.
Right.
What's his face? One of the his Capitals head coach there for a while. The big guy. I can't remember.
Bruce Boudreau.
Bruce, my God,
he's been everywhere now too.
My God, it's like anytime any got fired and he didn't have a job, he was getting.
He was in there. Good old Bruce. Oh, Bruce is a good dude. He's another guy. He's in a good place now because he's a good media. He's a good guy for media because he's got some personality and he speaks his mind. Like those are the guys that you want in there. Him and Torts could run a good. With Torts still doing ESPN. I guess is he still?
Yeah, I think
back on the
he
ESPN.
Does that show with them.
I never watched their hockey coverage. I guess I have. Well, it's on Sunday either. So.
It's not like it's you kind of catch it.
it's
like, oh yeah, they do a pre and post game sometimes.
St. John's no problem last night against Butler. They actually don't play this weekend, Paulie. I can't even give you who you got.
So that was their 16th one last night.
Yes. So St. John's after that win. 92-70, 22-point win at the Garden over there. They are 16-5 now. And they got, kind of a weekend off. Next time they play is Tuesday at the Paul. And then big game, Paulie, next Friday night. Okay. The 6th. So a week from tomorrow at the Garden, UConn St. John's. 8:00 Friday night at the Garden, heading into Super Bowl weekend.
Let's throw them in the Who You Got.
That is next. Well, that'll be a next Thursday. Who you got? UConn St. John's.
Adding some hoops and hockey into the
got to add. Now, and there's actually just to let you know this weekend. There's strong games, man. Actually, tomorrow night, Michigan State, Michigan 19-1, Michigan State 19-2, both ranked in the top 7. Michigan State 7, Michigan 3. Hell of a game in East Lansing. Michigan, a 1.5 road favorite. Wow, Izzo the dog at home here with Sparty on Friday night. Hell of a game. Saturday, Arizona State, BYU, Kansas, really good game. Other than that, UConn at Creighton. You don't have too much ranked this weekend. Kansas, Texas Tech is Monday night on Big Monday. So college basketball, we know that. We're almost, listen, if February starts on Sunday, boy, that means what's right behind that? March. So it's right there.
The madness will begin.
It's right there for you.
So before we head out here tonight, and we started with the Islanders Rangers, what is the line tonight? Forgive me if you mentioned it earlier in the show.
Islanders are favored tonight.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm on the Islanders.
All right.
I'll play the Islanders.
And what's the line?
In regulation. I'm going to actually play Sorokin to get a shutout at plus 950. Play Ranger team total alt under 1.5 at plus 270. I'm going all in on a smash job tonight.
Boom.
I put the Islanders in the puck parlay at Bet Rivers. I have every Islanders
Put me in.
Why play?
I'm into.
Why play the game?
I'm into.
At this point, it's kind of what. I mean, like you said, there's Drury on top of the garden tonight, waving that flag all over the place. He's tapped out.
What a state of affairs.
He's tapped out.
Come down to Borrelli's tonight. Watch the game.
Sully doing his press conference like he's Dave from Kevin
You know,
Kline
if you are having a hard time going to sleep at night, just put on Sully's
post-game presser.
post games, pre games, anything like any kind of interview with him.
Okay,
knock you out like that.
Good. Paulie, great job as always here. Tremendous week again. We'll be back next Wednesday, noon East, here at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Enjoy all the games this weekend. And next week, yes, we're in Super Bowl 60, Patriots and Seahawks. Everybody will be rocking and rolling.
Hopefully
ready
a
to
few
go.
more crazy NFL stories too.
Maybe you might have a few. You know, it's been a while since we had like a player get in trouble there on the Super Bowl
Rangers
week.
trades, some Yankees trades.
It is the NBA trade deadline next Thursday,
trades.
so we have a lot of really fun stuff. All right, Mike Carver, Paul Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio, Borrelli's Taproom. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Wednesday.